Yeah. Last फिर तेरी बात कर दी
Good evening, students. Sit down. Sit. Are there any students joined in? This is what we are going to learn. The Supreme Court. Yes. Any doubt, any slide? You want to tell me? Yes, you were informed that this is the topic we are going to start with today. Supreme Court. No, you were not informed. Is anything left out midway, which was taught to you previously? What is it? Just show me the textbook here. Mahatma Gandhi and the national movement. This chapter is not completed. How much part is remaining? We have done up till boycott programs are done, Swadeshi programs are done. Yeah. And Chowdhury incident is done. Then non-cooperation movement. Is that done? So is this chapter Supreme Court being finished in your class? No. No. So for today we will start with this.
We haven't been in a private council.
That's also not done. Never mind. It is not much interlinked with the previous chapter, so no worries. We'll start with Supreme Court. Just let me know how much syllabus is completed so that after we finish this chapter, we can go as per the completion. So I am your new teacher for the history and civics. I will be teaching you history and civics. If you don't mind, shall I keep this till the lecture gets over? I'll tell you once the lecture is. So what do you understand by Supreme Court? Where is Supreme Court located?
Delhi.
Delhi, yes, very good. It's in Delhi. And why it's called Supreme Court? What is so special that it's named as Supreme Court? Supreme, it's the supreme judicial authority. Yes, it's the highest authority. Authority for what? Judicial power, yes. We all know that there are our countries governed by our constitution. Yes. And constitution has divided the powers. There is a policy of separation of powers. Powers are divided into three parts. One is legislature. Then second is what?
Judicial.
Executive. Yeah, you can say judiciary also, no harm. Then third is judicial. So, Supreme Court is the judiciary head. Okay, like we have the law making, this does the law making. Yeah, you know that legislature is responsible for making the laws. Yes, and it is made in where? In the parliament. Yeah, very good. So it's made in parliament. What does executive do? It implements. Yes, it implements. It executes. Yeah. And what does judiciary does? Oh, क्या ना बनाएगा law तो बन गया and we implemented also. Then what was the need? Supervises, yes. Interprets. What you will say? Interprets. Interprets and this is whatever law is being made by the parliament. Whatever rules and regulations have been drafted, it will see to it, judiciary will see to it that they are followed correctly. And not only followed, if someone tries to disobey these rules and regulations, we'll see to it that such persons are punished. Okay. So this is the basic essence of how our powers are distributed, divided, and why Supreme Court is important to us. Well, let me tell you before we start with our concept or get into the mainstream of the Supreme Court. Yes, come. God forbid someday if you guys get into some fight, okay, with someone, will you all go to Supreme Court?
No. Yes. No.
Who is going to Supreme Court straight away, right away? No. First, we go to a police, right? Nearby police station. Then we find an FIR. Then we find a complaint. We tell them what our issues are, what our problems are. And then if the police is incapable of solving these things by themselves or it doesn't lie under its jurisdiction, then the issue goes to the lower court. After the lower court, if you are not satisfied with the judgment given by the lower court, then you have an authority to move towards the higher courts. Now let's see how this hierarchy goes on. Please jot down this thing in your book along with the date. Everyone, write this thing. Finished writing? Basically, the judiciary law of our country, how it is. It is a single integrated system. Now, what do you understand by the word integrated? Tell me what do you understand by the word integrated? Hmm? Anyone?
Mix.
What makes? Yeah.
Divided.
Single integrated system. Now, what does the word integrated here means is when you approach a lower court, if you are not satisfied the justice given by the lower court, you have authority to move to the high court. From high court also, if you get back unsatisfied with the justice that they give there, or if you feel that something is still left out, some evidences are still left out, the judgment is not given in a correct goodwill, you can further move to Supreme Court. And this thing will go on everywhere all over India. Even if you are from a very remotest part of the village, still you will be governed in the same manner. Yes. We have an hierarchy. You all have to write down these things in your book. It's up to your wish whether you want to write while I am writing or after I finish. Supreme Court is called apex court. What it is called? Then comes the High Court, and then comes the lower court. Lower court, district court, session court, whatever. There are different names for that. No laughing in my class unless and until I crack a joke. Okay? Yeah. If I crack a joke, then you can laugh. Otherwise, there is no need to laugh. Then basically what this single integrated system means, this is the hierarchy to follow. Then secondly, all the rules and laws are set. The laws are fixed. And these laws are not like, suppose there is a robbery in Faridabad, the person will be given 6 years of imprisonment. The same person comes back and after 6 years, he does a robbery in Mumbai and he is given 2 years of imprisonment. That's not how it follows. Everywhere the punishment or the penalty for robbery or a particular fight or a violence or any other crime, it is fixed. The punishment of the penalty does not change as per the place. It is fixed everywhere. All throughout India, you will be governed by the same set of rules, same set of laws as given in the Constitution. That makes it to be an integrated system. Follow? What does the word integrated mean?
Nothing is cut in the chapter.
What happened?
Nothing is cut in the chapter.
Why you want to cut something, such beautiful chapter study? No. You want to omit out something from this?
CISE, I'm from CISE.
Actually, whatever is given in your notes that I'm teaching you, nothing beyond that. Okay. So don't worry. Yes. You have that for exams on the next class if I start with it, okay? Because this class I was being told to teach you this chapter, then that's why next week we have no worry. I will finish off this chapter as well and then chapter as well. Okay. Yes, finished writing this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Then this is the need, this integrated system is the need. Need for what? For having a federal form of government. What do you mean by federal government?
And you see happens for the matter of my copy.
Yeah, okay, I was still new.
No.
But actually, see here, this
Federal system of government is a system of government in the power split between the central and the union state and both of them are in their own space.
yes, very good, very good. So consider this to be India. Okay, my drawing is not that good. Consider this to be India. In India, we have many different states, right? And all these states have their own government. Then how will you govern all these states together in a central power? You are decentralizing power by making states and state government. But at the same time, you are also expecting them to follow a certain code of conduct, to follow a set of rules and regulations. How is that possible? It is possible to maintain a federal form of government wherein the state governments are expected to obey the rules and laws made by the central government. And both are superior in each sense. I would say that the central government is more superior and the state government is less superior, but both of them have their equal importance. And in federal form of government, federal word itself, it means that you are decentralizing the power. At the same time, you are also keeping a check on the decentralized powers. Okay, follow up? Then let's see the next part. In such a form of federal government, what do we need is to have a judicial system. This is all a part of judicial system, right? So we need a judicial system such as to be independent. What do you understand by independent judicial system?
You don't be dependent on the states.
Yeah, it is not dependent on legislature and executive. Legislature makes the laws, it gives us the rules, it gives us the constitution, it makes acts, it makes amendments, it makes laws. But at the same time, it is not dictating the judiciary. It is telling कि ये law है, ऐसा काम करना है. But at the same time, judiciary in its own essence is independent. How is it independent now? If suppose the legislature, parliament, legislature, whenever I'm using the word, it means the parliament. It passes a law that after 8 p.m., in the evening after 8 p.m., nobody is going to talk. If you talk, we will penalize you with rupees 10,000 as penalty. Is this law in any way going to work out? No, it's wrong. It's invading your fundamental right of speech, freedom of expression of speech. It's invading that. So what you can do? You can approach Supreme Court. Not only you, even Supreme Court can interfere by itself, and it can say that this law, which has been made by the Parliament, is null and void. Follow? This means that it is independent of legislature. How is it independent of the executive? What do you understand by executive? Prime Minister, Council of Minister, Cabinet Ministers, they all come under executive. अभी हमारा बीजेपी का power है, and we want that in this particular case, the judgment should go in the favor of BJP. This is what BJP is. Then is judiciary liable to go as per the party in power? No. What it will do? We will do as per things are told to us, as per evidences are produced, and we will see to it that the justice prevails. This is what judiciary will say. And it will say, I'm not going to say do all those things that the executive wants me to do, which comes into light that judiciary is independent of executive. In this way, both legislature and executive, they cannot exercise control over judiciary. Judiciary वही करेगा जो justice के लिए सही हो. Yes, did you understand how it is independent? Now note this down. No need to draw this diagram. Okay, rest all you can note it. Done. The composition of the Supreme Court. Composition. What is the meaning of composition of Supreme Court? Yes, very right. Tell me, how many are there? Any idea? Yes, 33. So initially, before 2019, there were only 30 judges. There were how many judges, beta? 30 judges in Supreme Court plus one CJI. CJI means Chief Justice of India. But after 2019, then there was an amendment act that was passed, Supreme Court Judges Amendment Act, and then it increased the number to 33 judges plus one CJI. So you can make it out that total there are on today's date 34 can be appointed, but there are 32 people that at present who are left out. They are not yet appointed, but there is a maximum limit for 33 judges to be appointed and one Chief Justice of India. Can you name the Chief Justice? N.V. Ramana. Very good. He is the current Chief Justice. What happened? N.V. Ramana. Yes. I just write it. N.V. Ramana. Maybe my spelling this might be Ramana. He is the Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice of India, he is having the highest power in judiciary. Okay, like we have the highest authority for executive, this president, prime minister we are having, and then for legislature we are having the president, and nominal head is again for executive president. So like that, for judiciary, highest authority is given to Chief Justice of India. Who? Repeat after me, Rita. Chief Justice of India. Note it down. What happens? What makes you laugh? According to which law? According to the Supreme Court Number of Judges Amendment Act. See, I write it. Supreme Court Number of, yes. Amendment Act. Okay, according to this law. Yeah.
Fundamental rights be changed.
No, not at all. If that is changed, then there is no essence of being in India.
Means if we can have
See, for that, no, one more legislative assembly has to be constituted. Japan, yeah, they have to make another new legislative assembly. The current one will not make it. New has to be made because the current one will try to make such a fundamental right, it will favor its power forever in the country. Yes, or now today we are having power of BJP. Amongst them only they will elect a new team, and that will be a legislative assembly, a new legislative assembly. Yes, it can be dissolved after it makes a new changes or a new additional fundamental right is added or any modification is done to the basic essence of the constitution, then it can be dissolved. Okay. Finished? Finished writing, beta? Yeah. What are the qualifications? Qualification to become a judge. How many of you want to become a lawyer? No one. There is student who wants to become. Very good.
Yes,
Very good. Very good. So he also has the scope of becoming the future CJI. Justice of India. Let's come back to the topic, beta. Okay. If you want to become a judge of the Supreme Court, what you should have is first you should be citizen of India. I'm telling this qualification to become a judge of Supreme Court. Okay. And first you have to be a citizen of India. Then you should have at least 5 years experience as a judge in some high court or some lower court also. Okay. You should have 5 years of experience. Experience as a judge, specified. Yes, he can be a judge provided he has 10 years of experience.
And then being a judge, we need to have another study other than
You need to clear certain exams, beta. There are certain entrance exams for that, for qualifying as a judge. Okay, so first requirement is being a citizen. Second, he has to have at least a 5 years experience of judge of a high court. Okay, he needs to have 5 years experience being a judge in a high court. Then, or if he is not, or mind it, that or is there. Okay, if this is not possible, see, it's not possible always to be a judge of a high court only, then we will become a Supreme Court. That's not a criteria, because in every high court, a good eminent jurist might not get a chance to become a judge. Yes or no? As per the vacancies and as per the seniority post, the judges are appointed in high courts. And there might be an eminent jurist. He might not be appointed as a judge for a particular high court, but that doesn't mean that he's not fit or not qualified to become a judge of Supreme Court. He can become a judge of Supreme Court provided he has 10 years experience of working as an advocate in that particular High Court. Okay, and that should be in succession. Succession means ऐसा नहीं कि 2 साल कर लिया 10 साल छुट्टी पे गए फिर वापस आके 8 साल किया ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. It has to be in succession, continuous. Okay.
And that 5 years is not happening.
That 5 years as an experience for being a judge in Supreme Court.
And it's not compulsory to be in succession.
That is also compulsory. That also has to be in succession. Okay. This 5 years also has to be in succession. Holidays are okay, beta, but not a very big holiday. Yeah. In that particular year, financial year, he has to do. Any doubt? Okay. And only these things are not sufficient, beta. One more necessary thing is needed. And that is under the opinion of the president. What does the presidential opine? That the person is an eminent.
Any judge has been paid to discuss. Any judge has been paid.
All judges are appointed to this only. All judges are appointed.
With that, the state.
That is, it is one of the criteria होता है. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ भी नहीं हो president को लगता है ये बहुत अच्छा है. Yeah, correct. Option is in between these two. या तो ये हो या फिर ये. बाकी ये और ये तो compulsory है. Okay, this is compulsory. He has to be a citizen of India and he has to be under the president's opinion that he is an eminent jurist. बाकी इसमें ऑप्शन है या तो ये हो सकता है या फिर ये हो सकता है. दोनों में से एक तो होना चाहिए.
इसमें और दिया है.
क्या दिया बेटा?
मैम सेकंड पॉइंट ऑफ क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट एंड में और दिया हुआ है.
That may be a printing mistake because only president's opinion will not make him fit to be a judge. Probably depends. Yeah, I think it's just because of a printing mistake that they have added an or here. There is no option between the first and the second. It has to be either this or it has to be that. Okay, I'll just take it out once again and I'll get back to you in the next class and tell you what it is. Okay, I feel that it is just a printing mistake that they are given again and or. Because in the opinion of president, he can even opine someone to be of a low educational caliber also as a fit to be a judge. But that's not the deal. He has to have some educational qualification, legal qualification to qualify for this post. Okay. Finished noting down? Yes or no? At least tell me yes or no.
Yes, no.
What happened? Abusing the such a word.
I'm giving a yes.
Who is going to be a judge now? Yeah, he will be. If you all work hard, you all will be good in your syllabus. Yes. Now, next thing that I'm going to tell you. Appointment. Appointment. Yes. Why do you have to laugh as soon as I turn my back? Come on, I know who is doing this in my class. Are you all so happy to study about Supreme Court?
Yes, ma'am.
That's nice then. Keep laughing. Appointment. Who wants to become appointed as a Supreme Court judge? Everyone. Yes, come on. You will do the appointment. You will do appointment. Sorry, but you are not the president. Only those who are president of India has the authority to appoint judges for Supreme Court. Who has? President of India has.
And then the president of the nominates, so he is given the list of the candidates.
He is given the list. He takes consultation.
And then 5 years. Six.
Yeah, they are on rotation sometimes. But Supreme Court judges will not be renewed unless and until they complete their tenure. Till they retire, they are retired at the age of 65 years, or if they are resigning with their own will, then that's a different story. But once appointed as a Supreme Court judge, they are not renewed.
And last year, I guess the Supreme Court judge was changed.
Maybe there might be some internal issues, but usually they are not. They are transferred there in that case. They are transferred there.
So, if suppose Pune, the judge is given wrong, and the chief justice can give the.
Yes, he has the right. There is a judicial review concept. We will be coming there. Yes, now appointment. Appointment is done by the President of India. And how he does this appointment? He does it in consultation with the judges of the Supreme Court. He also consults the judges of High Court, and he also consults the Council of Ministers before appointing any judge as a judge for Supreme Court. And how is the Chief Justice of India appointed? It is done on the basis of seniority. The senior most judge of Supreme Court is appointed as the Chief Justice of India. Not oldest. See, a person might be old enough. He might be 60-year-old, but he is having just 5 years of experience. Then that doesn't make him senior most, right? A person who is having 15-20 years of experience will be considered senior most, irrespective of what his age is. He might be even 40-45 years old, but if he is having the vast experience, he will be given preference. How many years you put in that profession, that is important, not how many years you put in this world. Yes, sir. Then let's come to a new topic, that is removal of judges.
An appointment of head of judges, term of office.
That is also done by the president. Or even
of Supreme Court. Ad hoc.
ad hoc is temporary temporary judges. They can be appointed by CJI also, Chief Justice of India.
What are you doing now?
Removal of judges. Now, being a judge of Supreme Court is a very big deal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can you imagine how much salary they might be getting?
3 lakhs.
3 lakhs.
Per month.
Yes, per month. It's big. Yes. Allowances of 40% they get per month for there are different accounts. Yes, they can do. Yeah, they are getting salary, but they also pay that much tax. Boys, if you finish your discussion, shall I continue the discussion? You all will get more than that, provided if you concentrate and learn. Yes? Good. Think big dreams, you all should see. It's very nice. Okay? Come back to the classroom. So, how can you remove a Supreme Court judge? Now, being a Supreme Court judge is a very big deal. It's a high post. And someone working on such a high post with such a high dignity and respect, can you just go and remove him off? No. There is a process to remove. That process is called impeachment. Impeachment. Who has appointed them? He has the power to remove them. And it is not just any normal process. It is a very tedious process to be followed. If and only if this judge is found to have been doing any misappropriate behavior. Which behaviors? Inappropriate, misappropriate behavior, or if he is trying to do any injustice, he is not fulfilling his duties properly, or if he is found guilty, or if he is found incapable in completing his duties, then yes, then in that case, what will happen? A petition is passed in the parliament, and with the approval of two-third members. How many? Yeah, in the parliament. Two-third members approval. Only after getting two-third members approval, president will have an authority to impeach the judge. Yes, it has happened in 1993. I don't remember the name of that judge. He was found to be doing some misbehavior. His behavior was not appropriate. His services were not capable enough. So one judge, I think some VR, can't recollect his name. It has happened. It has been. Yeah, just Google it and see. No one knows. Don't have phone, just I'll just check it out. Impeached judge in India. Let's just check. Anyways, I'm not getting it at this moment. Yes, V. Ramaswamy. V. Ramaswamy. He was the judge of Supreme Court, and he was the first judge who was removed by the process of impeachment. V. Ramaswamy. He was, removed by the process of impeachment by because of his services were inappropriate and his behavior was not good. Okay. And tenure. If you talk about tenure, the tenure of a Supreme Court judge is how much? Tenure. He can work or continue working on his post until he turns 65 years of age. Stop it, come on, move in the front if anyone is getting disturbed. Don't do like that. Why you have to fight amongst yourselves? Get quietly. The one who is getting disturbed, you come forward. Don't sit. Boys, please. Yes, the tenure of Supreme Court judges is 65 years. Either they can be removed by impeachment, that is a very tedious process, a long process, or they can leave their premises only after their retirement, and their retirement age is 65 years, or they can even resign. If they are not well or they are having some health issues, they can resign from their post. Okay. Next comes the salary and service conditions. As I already discussed, the salary is very hefty. It's a big salary. Yeah, it's a big salary of around 3 lakh rupees. You can say approximately 3,40,000 as calculated. So it's a very good salary that is being given to them, and it is given under the Consolidated Fund of India. Consolidated Fund of India is that fund on which the parliament can take no decisions. Salary cannot be changed once they are appointed. Before their appointment, it can be changed. Parliament can pass an order and it can increase or decrease the salary as per the need. But usually it is not done. And once a judge is appointed and once he is given his post, then there is no scope of changing his salary. Okay, that salary remains fixed. But before he is appointed or before the judge is given the charge of this particular post, there are, sometimes the parliament can make changes to the salary. But very rare and rare of cases that might happen. Okay. Hope you all have noted this.
Yes, ma'am.
When judges are expected to be, always be free of any sort of subjugation.
If a judge's mind is always, yeah, if it is always under, stress, ruling party मेरे को job से हटा देगा, ruling party will kill me, or it will not give me VIP protection if I don't pass the judgment in favor of the ruling party, then naturally the judge is not going to be in a position to give justice in an appropriate way. So he has to have a mind free of all this subjugation. He has to be very impartial. If he does partiality, then naturally he is not fulfilling the requirement of his code. And once he is retired, he is not allowed to work anywhere as a lawyer or a judge or anything. Because if after retirement also he continues, pension, that's what I'm going to tell you. If after retirement also, if he continues to work, then there are instances or there might come any instances where he might do any injustice. So that is why he is given a very big pension also. And that amount is quite sufficient for him to lead a healthy, wealthy family.
How much?
Pension, it ranges around 2 lakhs. Yeah, it ranges around. So that's how the salary scale of these judges are. Contempt of court, yeah. Any doubt, anyone? What do you understand by contempt of court? Contempt of court. Let me write it. Contempt. Suppose you are a judge. Imagine that you all are judges of some or the other court, not just Supreme Court, be it High Court or any other court. You all are judges, and you are having a fear that if you pass a judgment, then tomorrow morning in the newspaper there might be an article against you. Okay, and there might be a cartoon of you giving some judgment in some wrong motion, and your image will be maligned. That's what you have a fear of. So what will you do? Will you just think about that fear and stop giving a correct judgment?
No.
No, correct. Very good. So you will. Yes, boys. Yes. Yes. So what you will do, in spite of all that fears, you will still give a correct, proper judgment, a very good justice, because if anyone tries to print any sort of inappropriate material against you, then that will amount to contempt of court. That means if you are a judge of Supreme Court or if you are a judge of High Court, you can punish any person who is trying to defame you or the court or the constitution or the governmental rules and laws of India. That all will amount under contempt of court. Follow what is contempt of court? Any doubt in this term, contempt of court? कोर्ट का अगर कोई मजाक बनाता है, कल को सुप्रीम कोर्ट बनाया और उसके ऊपर कोई कार्टून दिखा दिया, तो all this thing will amount under contempt of court, and that person who does that, he will be punished. And no need to file case and all, to get that hold of that person to punish. Supreme Court can intervene itself and it can punish that person. There is no need for Supreme Court to ask anybody's permission or file a case or go to police station, and all that is not needed. Directly, it can pass an order saying that so and so person doing this cartoon is punished. Yes. Any doubts? No trial. Without trial, he is punished. This is clear. Then comes procedure of work and establishment. Naturally, if every now and then Supreme Court has to obey somebody's orders to do a particular work or to do a particular task. Yeah, this. Yeah, freedom. That's what I told you. It cannot be always in the subjugation, or they cannot be always under the mindset of anybody's fear, right? They can announce their decree. What is decree? It's an order. What is it? So they can always file, they can always give a judgment without any fear in their minds. Then comes full control over the procedure of work and establishment. Naturally, it should have its control over what work it is doing, what type of establishment it has, and how it has to function. If someone else has to dictate it, then it will not be in a position to do a unbiased job, isn't it? Yes or no? So it has to have a complete freedom over how it has to follow a particular rule, how it has to pass a judgment. Today, if a particular case is filed in Supreme Court and the ruling party says, nahi, iska to sunwai kal hi hona chahiye, then it will have a full disturbed schedule or scheme of the cases running in the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court itself has an authority कि कब किसका कौन सा case schedule करना है. No other outsider or legislature or executive will have a say in that. Follow what I'm trying to say? No discussion in the legislature on the conduct of the judges. Naturally, there are many cases going on wherein MLAs are involved, ministers are involved, and they all are the part of our legislature. So they might, come up with the thought of, discussing or defaming a particular judge. And what they will do, in the pretext of defaming a judge, they might say so many wrong things. So that thing is being completely banned. No person in a legislature or even an executive member, they are not allowed to make any sort of comment or give any sort of opinion about any judge or on any case. Okay, thereby giving complete freedom to the judiciary, complete independence to the judiciary. If constantly the judge is under the fear कि अरे मैं ये करूंगा तो लोग क्या करेंगे, ये लोग क्या करेंगे वाले टैक्स से जजेस को हटा दिया. Follow what I'm trying to tell you? Clear?
Yes.
Any doubts? Next comes prohibition of practice after retirement. That's what I have already told you. They are given a very good pension and they are not allowed to practice once they are retired. Now let's come to the jurisdiction. What do you understand by the word jurisdiction?
Now it's where exercise of law to their areas.
Yes, their area of control. How much power they have. Now you
What
suppose
if something is not in the jurisdiction of Supreme Court?
everything is there under the jurisdiction.
What were they?
Yeah, everything comes under this jurisdiction. But I'll tell you one thing, you are staying in your house, you have the jurisdiction over your house. Yes, or no? You cannot go and take decisions about your neighbor's house. He will push you out. That is what is jurisdiction. How much power you can exercise in your area, in your territory. Supreme Court of India has jurisdiction over India. It cannot go and give dictated rules and terms to the Russian Supreme Court. Naturally, Russia will say, who are you to come and interfere in our matters? So that's what they are trying to tell us, that how much and what all areas fall under the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. It has a highest jurisdiction, I must say, but again, its jurisdiction or its power area is restricted. Now, how it is restricted, let's see. I hope you all are noting down the points. Anyone wants me to teach in Hindi? Are you all comfortable with the language used?
Yes.
Let's see, first comes original jurisdiction. Now we can say that Supreme Court, is the protector of our constitution. What is it? Protector of constitution. It safeguards our constitution. Otherwise, there are certain instances, or there might be certain, sometimes it might happen that the legislature and judiciary is trying to make some law, or it is trying to manipulate or amend some law or act, and in that affair, it ends up making a blunder of the constitution. The main essence of the constitution should not be lost, and the essence of our constitution lies in our fundamental rights, which are very clearly mentioned: right to freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, to practice and profess whichever religion you want. These are all few fundamental rights which are given to us. And if that is destroyed, if that is not left with us, then the main essence of our constitution is destroyed. So Supreme Court is the main in charge, which will see to it that our constitution is protected. It has, it is the guard of our constitution. देख करता है वो पूरे constitution का कि nobody is given that much authority to change it or to make any negative changes to the constitution, thereby destroying the spirit of the constitution. Now, how can it do this? It has certain jurisdiction, and first one is original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction. Now, original jurisdiction is the cases which can directly be taken to Supreme Court. Okay. Then there are disputes between center and a state. Whenever there is a dispute between center and the state, then such dispute. Laws is same beta for center, state, everywhere. Whose point is correct, that will be decided by the court. It is not that there is a different central law and then a different state law. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Laws are same. They will be governed as per the constitution. But if there is any misunderstanding or any point of fight between the center and the state, मान लेते हैं कि मोदी जी और ममता बनर्जी में कोई dispute हो जाता है, so they can take their dispute to the Supreme Court directly. They need not have to go to High Court. Do we are allowed to go directly to the Supreme Court? No. First we go to police station, then we file a complaint, then we go to session courts, district courts, High Court, and then finally to the Supreme Court. But when there is a dispute between a center and the state, then that dispute can directly be taken to the Supreme Court. Yes, clear everyone? Any doubts? Yes. Then next, when there is an interstate dispute, what do you understand by interstate dispute?
Between states.
Yes, between states. Best example is the dispute of Kaveri River. That Kaveri River, which is flowing from Karnataka, crosses across, I think, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, and all these three states are fighting amongst themselves. That we want water, we will not give you, we will not. And this interstate dispute will go to Supreme Court directly. It need not have to go to any High Court. Naturally, if it goes to High Court of Andhra Pradesh, they will declare Sara Pani hum rakhenge. If it goes to High Court of Karnataka, they say all water is ours. And if it goes to High Court of Tamil Nadu, they will say all water is ours. So again, the dispute will be as it is. So no point in going to High Court. So they have to directly go where? To the Supreme Court. Then which other things they can go is for protection of fundamental rights. Okay, tell me one thing. If someone tells you, if suppose you are 18 years and above, consider yourself to be 18 years and above, and you are not allowed to cast your vote in the election. That means your fundamental right of voting has been impeached. Then you have an authority to go directly to the Supreme Court. You need not have to go to any police. You need not have to go to any session court, High Court, or any other middleman. You can directly go and talk to the Supreme Court. You can file your case in the Supreme Court. You can approach Supreme Court. If your fundamental rights are, they are violated, you can go to the Supreme Court. Then which other case you can go? Transfer of cases from lower court. Sometimes there are some cases, they have a value, they have a higher value for all cases. Class. What makes you laugh so much? I don't know. Please tell me the jokes that you are cracking up. Then I will have a nice laugh with you. Simply I am wasting my ATP standing here and teaching, my energy is going. Yeah. I can also share a nice laugh and increase my energy. Okay. When cases are transferred from lower court directly to Supreme Court, if suppose there is a case and that has been filed in the High Court and the Supreme Court feels what it feels that it has some importance, some importance wherein the constitution interpretation. What do you mean by interpretation? How the laws are understood, or how it is read out, or how it has to be implemented. There is some knack in that, and there is an important crust to it. Then such cases will be directly transferred from the lower court to the Supreme Court, that is the highest court. Then, as I already said, interpretation of constitution. In any such case where interpretation of constitution is in question, that is, in constitution a particular rule has been made and it is not interpreted correctly. That is, लिखा कुछ है, किया कुछ और जा रहा है. So in that condition, that particular case will directly go to Supreme Court. Any doubt up till here? Any doubt? Finish writing? Everywhere I'm going to check your books. I'm going to check your books. I know who is writing and who is not writing. Yeah, I know. And this be on our side. Constitution. Finish writing? One more thing you can note down in the original jurisdiction is that this is there in the Article 141 of Constitution. Which article? Article 131. But still, you can write it. No, it is an added information for you. Yes, boys. You are sitting in a class, don't forget that. Okay. I'm finishing off. Assume that you have finished writing. Then comes appellate jurisdiction. Yes. It's okay. But that's also sufficient for me. Appellate jurisdiction. What do you understand by appeal? What do you understand by the word appeal? What is that appeal? To ask, to plead for. Yes. First, a particular case has been classified. Class. Very beautiful feats you all have. I saw. Okay, now please keep your feet inside and listen to what I'm telling. We'll just finish this appellate jurisdiction and then I'll move. Appellate jurisdiction means a case has been already filed in some lower court and the person is not happy with the justice given to him or her. Then in that situation, the case which has been filed in the lower court, it can be appealed to the higher court. that is the High Court or the Supreme Court. Again, from High Court, if you don't get sufficient justice, you can appeal it to the Supreme Court. That is what it is all about. And such three cases are there. First is constitutional cases. That is all those cases in which the constitutional laws are to be discussed, or there is any problem with there is some interpretation problems with the constitutional cases. Civil cases are what? What are civil cases and criminal cases? The faster you tell, the faster I leave you.
Constitutional means regarding
Constitution, yeah.
civil means normal civil.
Civil.
And criminal means civil criminals.
Yeah, but
Criminal means like arson or something.
arson, then murder, all such things will come under criminal. If there is a fight between two brothers for property issue and all, it will come under civil cases. And constitutional cases are those where fundamental rights or some principles, directive principles or any such content related to constitutional value is to be discussed. Okay, take your book, Bina. Okay.
इतना भी तुम में ये है घर पे पढ़ाई ये यूपी कहीं आ रहे पूरा इसका राइट पूरा राइट इसके ऊपर 2 कलाकार तो थोड़ा ही है इसको लग रहा है ये फैक्ट्री आ रहा है कि अबे वो पूरा लक्ष्य नहीं है तो ये बैठते हैं 2 कलाकार पे हो गया है नहीं वास्तविक करार माने वास्तविक करार अगर गाने की कीवर्ड